What is happening, Bayhive and Hype Squad? It's the Bayonce beat, and we are kicking things off with a rapid-fire rundown of the hottest news dropping today. Get ready, because Pete Davidson is making some major life changes, gearing up for fatherhood and giving back in a huge way by raffling off his prized Chevy Blazer for charity. And we're not stopping there. We're diving deep into the dual cinematic worlds of Pete Davidson, exploring his surprising turn in horror with The Home and his comedic comeback in The Pickup. And in local news that matters, the Ridgefield PatchCast is back with your weekly dose of community updates. You don't want to miss any of this. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a beat. Pete Davidson is revving up for fatherhood and philanthropy. As the comedian prepares to welcome his first child with girlfriend Elsie Hewitt, he's making significant changes, including parting with his beloved Chevy Blazer. But this isn't just any car sale. Davidson is raffling off the distinctive vehicle, with all proceeds dedicated to supporting the families of fallen New York City police officers and firefighters through the Answer the Call organization. This cause holds deep personal significance for Davidson, whose own father, Scott Davidson, was a firefighter who died on 9/11. He expressed that Answer the Call was instrumental in supporting his family during that incredibly difficult time, making this a deeply meaningful endeavor for him as he embarks on his own journey into parenthood. The public is buzzing with admiration for Pete Davidson's charitable act, with many praising his commitment to honoring his father's legacy and supporting first responders' families during this exciting chapter of his life. His fans are especially touched by his desire to provide a more stable and perhaps quieter environment for his growing family, a sentiment echoed by his excitement about being able to take care of something and show it the childhood I didn't have. Don't go anywhere, because we're about to uncover the surprising range of Pete Davidson's acting career, from chilling horror to hilarious action. Get ready for the full breakdown of Pete Davidson's latest film projects. Pete Davidson is navigating a fascinating new chapter in his acting career, balancing the demands of impending fatherhood with a diverse range of film roles that showcase his evolving talent. Known for his comedic roots and relatable persona, Davidson is stepping into darker territory with The Home, a horror film directed by James DeMonaco of The Purge fame. In this chilling flick, Davidson plays Max, a graffiti artist sentenced to community service at a creepy senior care facility. The film takes a sinister turn when Max ignores a strict no fourth-floor policy, plunging him into a nightmarish scenario filled with psychological twists and horror tropes, even drawing comparisons to A Clockwork Orange. Despite its dark themes, the film also highlights Davidson's willingness to explore genres outside his comfort zone, even if reviews have been mixed, with some critics calling it a potential worst movie of the year. On the other end of the spectrum, Davidson is also set to star in The Pickup, a throwback 1980s-style action comedy directed by Tim Story. Teaming up with comedy legend Eddie Murphy, Davidson plays Travis, one half of a duo of truck drivers embroiled in a high-stakes heist. The film promises high-octane car chases, raunchy humor, and a star-studded cast including Eva Longoria and Keke Palmer, suggesting a return to the light-hearted, crowd-pleasing roles that first endeared him to audiences. Online reactions are a mix of intrigue and anticipation. Fans are eager to see Davidson's versatility, with many expressing excitement for The Pickup's comedic elements, while others are curious to see how he handles the horror genre in The Home. The contrast between these two roles is generating significant buzz, with many commentators noting this as a pivotal moment in his burgeoning film career. But before we dive into the more personal aspects of his life, we're taking a moment to appreciate the power of local storytelling. Next up, we've got the latest from the Ridgefield PatchCast, bringing you the community news you need to know. Your weekly dose of local happenings is here with the latest Ridgefield PatchCast. This episode, dropping on September 12, 2025, brings you a comprehensive roundup of all the essential news from Ridgefield, CT, straight from Patch. It's your go-to source for staying informed about what's happening in your community, offering a detailed look at local events and developments. For easy listening, The PatchCast is primarily available on Spotify, but for maximum accessibility, you can also find it on Apple, iHeart, and Amazon. Just search for PatchCast and look for the distinctive green Patch P logo to ensure you're tuning into the official broadcast. The creators strongly encourage listeners to hit that follow button and enable notifications so you never miss an update, ensuring you're always in the loop with the latest local stories. From the community pulse to the personal journey, we're about to get incredibly real. Stay tuned as Pete Davidson shares the heartbreaking details of how he learned of his father's tragic passing on 9/11. Pete Davidson is opening up about the profound and devastating way he learned of his father's death on September 11, 2001. At just 7 years old, Davidson's father, Scott Davidson, a firefighter, was among the heroes who responded to the World Trade Center attacks. While his father had told him he would pick him up that day, he never returned. Davidson recounted on the Real Ones with John Bernthal podcast that his mother shielded him from the news for 3 days, telling him his father was at work. It wasn't until he turned on the television that he saw his father on the news, and a presenter announced the deaths of firefighters, revealing the tragic reality, though his family clung to hope amid the uncertainty of the rescue efforts. This traumatic event has left lasting scars, with Davidson admitting to experiencing PTSD and trust issues throughout his life, stating, "Dad says he's going to pick you up. He doesn't, so for life I don't believe anyone." He is actively working on learning to trust, acknowledging that Hollywood, with its own set of challenges, isn't the easiest environment for this process. Despite the pain, Davidson keeps his father's memory alive by sharing jokes about him and expresses deep admiration for his mother, who was only 30 years old when she lost her husband and had to navigate immense grief. The raw honesty of Davidson's account has resonated deeply with audiences who are moved by his vulnerability and resilience. Many viewers have shared their own experiences with loss and trauma, finding solace and inspiration in his journey of healing and his dedication to honoring his father's legacy. We've covered a lot of ground today, from life-changing news to cinematic adventures. But before we sign off, stick around for a quick recap of all the top stories you need to know. And that's a wrap on today's show. We've got Pete Davidson gearing up for fatherhood and giving back by raffling his car for charity, exploring his diverse acting roles from horror to comedy, and the latest community updates from the Ridgefield PatchCast. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Beyonce Beat for all your celebrity news, hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and follow us on all social media platforms to join the conversation. We'll see you next time.